Death row prisoner and his last wish. The man whose breaks had been counted was sitting in a dark cell, leaning against the wall and staring into space. This was the day he had been waiting for years, but this waiting was not for any joy but for a terrible end. His name was Khan and he was a prisoner on death row for murder. The incident happened 5 years ago when Khan used to be an ordinary laborer. He killed a man and the court, giving a harsh verdict, sentenced him to death. Several appeals were made, but each time they failed. Now the jail authorities had informed him that he would be hanged in 2 days. The jail superintendent, Inspector Rashid, came and formally asked him, "If you have any last wish before hanging, tell me." Khan was silent for a few moments. Then he said in a low but mysterious tone, "I want to get married before I die. I just want to spend one night with my wife." On hearing this, there was a lot of gossip among the jail staff. No one had ever heard such a demand. Superintendent Rashid was surprised. "This is impossible. You know," the superintendent said, "if I have this right, then this is what I want," Riaz insisted. This news reached the senior officers of the jail. Some called it madness, but when legal experts were consulted, it was found that if the government allows, this last wish of the prisoner can be fulfilled. But the biggest question was who will marry this murderer. When this question arose, everyone thought that this wish could not be fulfilled. But then something happened which surprised everyone. Riaz Khan's last wish had stunned the jail authorities. No death row prisoner had ever made such a demand before. Everyone was surprised as to which woman would be ready to marry this murderer. As soon as this news came out, there was a stir in the media. A crowd of reporters gathered outside the prison gate, and every channel was asking the same question: can a murderer be given the right to marry? Meanwhile, the prison superintendent Rashid received a secret message. A woman had expressed her consent. The next day, a young woman came to the prison wrapped in a black. She gave her name as Salma Bibi and said that she was ready to marry Riaz Khan. Everyone was stunned to hear this. "Why do you want to marry a murderer?" Superintendent Rashid asked in surprise. Salma said slowly, "This is my personal decision, and I stand by it." The authorities suspected that this might be a trick. Was it true love or part of a plan? The prison officers tried to find out Salma's background, but she turned out to be an ordinary housewife. No criminal record, no shady past. Finally, after legal consultation, permission was granted for the marriage. But the prison staff was still confused. Would this marriage really be like a normal marriage, or was there some other game hidden behind it? The arrangements for the marriage were being completed and in the supervision of the authorities. The Qazi was seated in a small room inside the prison. A few witnesses were kept and security measures were tightened. Superintendent Rashid and other officers were keeping a close eye on the marriage. On the day of the marriage, Riaz Khan was taken out of his cell, but his face was blank. Neither joy nor panic, just a strange mysterious silence. Superintendent Rashid felt that Riaz seemed a little more calm today, as if he knew something that was hidden from the eyes of everyone else. At ESR time, Salma Bibi, dressed in a full black, entered the prison. Her face was covered by a veil, but there was in her gait. "Do you accept this marriage?" the Qazi asked Riaz. "Yes," Riaz said in a strong tone. The same question was asked to Salma. She also answered without hesitation. Thus the marriage was completed, and Riaz Khan, who was to be hanged a few hours later, had become Salma's husband. After the marriage, a special room was prepared in the jail where the bride and groom were allowed to spend the night. There was a tight guard outside, and Superintendent Rashid himself had inspected everything. But everyone was shocked to see the scene in the morning. Early in the morning, the prison guards opened the door, behind which were death row prisoner Riaz Khan and his new bride Selma. But everyone was shocked to see the scene. The room was empty. Neither Riaz Khan nor Selma Bibi was there. This news spread like lightning in the prison. Superintendent Rashid trembled with anger and immediately ordered all the doors of the prison to be closed. How is this possible? There was strict surveillance in the entire prison. Where could the two of them go? All the prisoners were locked in cells, and every corner of the prison was searched. When the authorities conducted a detailed search of the room where Riaz and Selma were, they were shocked. The window of the room was closed from the inside. The door was locked from the outside, but there was no one inside. Selma's blanket was lying on the floor and some white cloth was scattered in the corner that was not there before. Superintendent Rashid's suspicion was on the prison guards. Someone inside was their accomplice. This escape would not be possible without help. When guard was questioned strictly, but everyone was saying the same thing. We did not see anyone entering or leaving. The media outside was waiting for the prisoner to be hanged in the morning. But when there was a commotion inside the prison, the reporters sensed something was wrong. Something must be wrong somewhere. The prison there was a commotion inside. How did Riaz Khan and Selma Bibi disappear? This question was on everyone's mind, but no one had the answer. Many guards were scared. Someone said it was some kind of witchcraft. Someone whispered, this woman was not human, she was a demon. But Superintendent Rashid was not ready to believe all this. This is not magic. This is a clever trick. We have to find out how all this happened. All the cameras in the jail were checked, but surprisingly, none of the cameras recorded any suspicious movement. The door was closed. The window was locked from the inside. There was strict surveillance outside the jail. Then where did they go? Rashid immediately ordered the police to investigate Selma Bibi's background. Within a few hours, the police found a clue about Selma, which blew everyone's minds. Selma was no ordinary woman. Rather, she was the daughter of a murdered man, for whose murder Riaz Khan was convicted. How was it possible that she loved her father's murderer? A terrible thought came to Rashid's mind. Has Selma staged the marriage only to take revenge? If yes, then Riaz had not escaped but had met another fate. But then where was the body? There was still excitement in the jail. This case had become a mystery for Superintendent Rashid. Khan and Selma were inside the jail. The doors were locked, the security was tight, but they both disappeared. And now a new revelation had come to light. Selma, who had claimed to love and marry a murderer, was actually the daughter of the same victim for whose murder was convicted. This question was circulating in everyone's minds. If Selma had come to take revenge, then where was? If was murdered, then where did the body go? Or was it all a cunning plan to escape? The police investigated Selma's past further, and a secret was revealed that surprised everyone. Selma was definitely the daughter of the victim, but she was not culprit but his accomplice. 5 years ago, when had murdered, Selma's father had started blackmailing her, killed her in a fit of rage, and the court sentenced her to death. But Selma loved, and she wanted to save him at any cost. The investigation revealed that Selma tried to save Riaz for many years, but when every legal avenue was closed, she made a very dangerous plan. She presented herself as a bride, and in the guise of marriage, she reached the prison, and then tried a trick that no one had expected. But what was that trick? The prison investigators the room and found a clue that solved the mystery. Superintendent Rashid and his team started the room where Riaz and Selma were kept after the marriage. Everything was the same as before, but the white blanket lying on the floor was drawing their attention. The prison experts immediately analyzed this blanket. When the report came, everyone was shocked. This blanket was actually a rare anesthetic drug which could take any person into a deep sleep in a few moments. Now the study was starting to become clear. Selma had cleverly used this pillow in the prison cell after entering it. As soon as the guards closed the door, she gave it to, which made him fall into a deep sleep. But the real question was, if Riaz fainted, where did he go? Rashid's team started searching every inch of the room. Suddenly, an official tapped on the wall, and a hollow sound was heard there. Upon further investigation, it was found that there was a secret tunnel behind the wall. Everyone was stunned to see this. Does this tunnel lead outside the prison? Rashid asked in surprise. Investigation revealed that this tunnel was built during the construction of the old jail but was forgotten over time. Selma had probably gotten information about it from some source and made Riaz escape through this tunnel. But now the biggest question was, where did Riaz go? And who was Selma with now? As soon as the secret tunnel was revealed, there was more commotion in the jail. Superintendent Rashid immediately alerted his team. This tunnel can take us straight to Riaz Khan. A few police officers entered the tunnel and started investigating. The tunnel was quite narrow and dark, as if no one had used it for years. There was moisture and old cobwebs on the walls. But some distance away, the police found fresh footprints. It was clear that Riaz and Selma had used this route. After about half an hour of advancing, the police reached the other end of the tunnel. It opened into the basement of an old, deserted mosque. When the police reached the mosque, no one was there. But in a corner, I found shoes and some pieces of a chadin that had been left in a hurry, which probably belonged to Selma. She has left here, Rashid said angrily. The police soon found a watchman who worked at a bus stop near the mosque. He provided surprising information. At night, I saw a woman who came running with a man. They were in a hurry and got into a taxi and left. Which taxi was it? Rashid immediately asked. It was white, and I had also remembered its number. Hearing this, the watchman told the number. Rashid immediately ordered the police. This taxi will take us somewhere to Riaz Khan. Find it out immediately. As soon as the police got the taxi number, Superintendent Rashid immediately alerted all the traffic control centers in the city. This taxi must stop at any cost. A few hours later, the police received information that the same taxi had been found parked on a deserted road, but no one was inside. The police tracked down the taxi driver. When questioned, he made a shocking revelation. They were both very nervous, looking back repeatedly as if someone was following them. Where did they go then? Rashid asked quickly. He asked me to take him to a deserted area. When he reached there, he paid me the fare and got off. The police immediately reached the place where the taxi driver had dropped them off. But the scene there was unbelievable to everyone. There were fresh excavation marks on the ground, as if something had been buried there. The police immediately started digging. After some time, when the ground moved, a human body was found below. But whose body was it? The police went closer and looked carefully, and everyone was surprised. The body was that of Riaz Khan. Superintendent Rashid had surprise in his eyes. So what? Selma really took revenge on her father's killer. Then this story is not over yet, because Selma's slippers and some traces of blood were also found on the ground near the body. The police team stood around Riaz Khan's body. Superintendent Rashid was surprised if this was really the fate of a death row prisoner. But when the body was further investigated, everyone was stunned. The forensic report revealed that this body was not Riaz Khan's but someone else's. Now a new mystery had arisen. If this body was not Riaz's, then where did he go? Who was this person and where did Selma disappear? A few days later, the police found another clue. A woman was found at the reception of a small hotel with a registered name. CCTV footage was released. It was Selma, but the surprising thing was that Selma was not alone. There was a man with her whose face was blurred. Investigations revealed that the body Selma had shown the police was actually that of an innocent person who was killed as part of a plan to make everyone think that Riaz was dead. But in reality, Selma had escaped Riaz from prison and started a new life with him. This was not revenge, but a clever trick, a love war which Selma had won. The police tried everything possible to find Selma and Riaz, but they had gone to another country. This was one of the most amazing escapes in history. This story was a combination of love, deceit, and intelligence. Selma made an incredible move in love, and Riaz Khan, who was on death's door, won a new life.